All right, guys, in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to give you an intro to your door approach that I guarantee not a single rep in your neighborhood or even in this country is using right now. And I know that they're not using it and that it works because I'm setting appointments with people who have never set a solar appointment before ever in their life. So if you're knocking, if your area feels saturated, this is for you. Now, when it comes to your intro, your pitch, there are two ways to hook them. Okay, you can either be the pattern interrupt is the underlying principle here, right? You need to trigger an insane amount of focus, curiosity, and engagement. And the way the authority approach this, I swear every solar company has this pitch, and it's because it works, right? You knock on the door, you say, "Hey, I'm just doing my job, following up with the net metering. I'm doing the utilities project. My job's just to see how much power you use. It's a new program, it's fully funded, and this is just what I do. I'll get you the report. It's my job." It's a good approach. It works. Okay. But my problem that I had with it was I felt salesy and, or not even just like a little shady because like I felt like I was putting on a little bit of a show to be the authority doing my job when in reality I'm there to sell them a solar program that's going to save them a lot of money. That's really going to help them. Um, so that's where I've come up with this salesperson question based approach that has been crushing it. And here's how it goes. I knock on the door and I say, "Hey, how are you? My name's Trenton. I work here in our neighborhood and I do my own business." And just that intro right there saying I do my own business, it sets this frame. It makes this context where like they're like I don't like they want to help me out. They want to listen. They want to be like somewhat respectful. And so it buys me enough time. I say, no, I knock on the door. I say, "Hey, how are you? My name's Trenton. I do my own business. And if it's not interesting to you, that's okay. I'll keep going. I'll go to the next house." But my question for you, would you think it was a bad idea if we had another company that could compete with Southern California Edison for the electric utility market? And then you go silent. You don't say anything. And they might, if they start saying, "Oh, is this solar?" You say, "No, no, no, not. I'm not talking about buying solar panels. I'm talking about a utility company that you could buy your electricity from instead of Edison." Would you be against that? And depending on how they respond to that question, I know whether they're worth my time and whether they're going to be my customer or not. Because if they respond to that question and they're like, "I'm not interested. I don't want anything to do with it," then dude, don't waste your time with them and go find someone. Because there are a lot of people they'll hear that question and say, "Well, I've never thought about that before. Like, how would that work?" And that's where we set the context for the S word, right? Because if you let them say this S word, so if you let them set the context for solar, you're behind and you're playing catch up. But if you take it head on and you say, "Well, look, I can't do it for every home, but it basically instead of buying solar equipment, we can just buy our power from a solar company, and it costs less than buying power from Edison. It's not the hassle or cost or commitment or investment of solar panels. Just the same way you're already buying electricity, you could buy it at a lower flat rate. There's no tiers, there's no time use. Your power cost would be less because you could buy it renewable. But there are certain criteria that have to be met. I don't know if it would be relevant here. I'm not here to stay. I would just get you some information another time. But tell me, do you pay a couple $100 for a power bill? And you open up the conversation right there and you set that frame on it. "Hey, I do my own business. I'm self-employed," however you want to phrase it. I mean, most of us are 1099 contractors. You go out, you say, "Look, I do my own thing. And I used to work for a sales company. Now I do my own thing." Um, People respect that. And it sets this frame and you can set this context around solar that no other person knocking doors is doing. So go out there. Now, if you say it and you're awkward, it's not going to work. If you knock on the door like, "Well, hey, hi, hope this is interesting to you." No, you need to be full confidence, you still are the authority in that interaction. You're still the authority. You're still confident and charismatic. You're completely composed. You're completely comfortable. "Hey, my name's Trenton. I work here in our neighborhood and I do my own business. If it's not interesting to you, that's okay. I'll keep going. But I wanted to ask, would you think it was a bad idea if we had another company that we could buy our power from instead of Edison?" Not talking about buying solar panels, but like a utility company. Would you would you be against that? Go get you some. See ya.